Chairperson, Science Operations Working Group Mission Operations for NASA Mars Exploration Rover mission. He joins us also from Washington. Great to have you on the program. And it was really remarkable to see the rocket lift off. It seemed almost unreal to watch it go off earlier, just a short while ago. Talk to us about the significance of this moment. What does this all mean for the future of space travel?
So what it means is, okay, they went to space for 3 minutes. Astronauts have been going to the space station for 3 months. So this is just 50 to 60 miles above Earth. But, people have been going to the space station, which is 250 miles above Earth. They have gone to the moon, which is 200,000 miles. So what is the big deal? The big deal is they're trying to start a new industry. The big deal is he took this. This takes $250,000 to go, whatever you saw. The big deal is if it was 2,500, would you and I go? So if you and I ever decide to go, that is where the mass market starts. That is when it becomes from a niche government program or a program by billionaires to something the mainstream uses. It is the difference. The global aviation industry is probably a $10 trillion industry. So it means if it was just a government program, it would have been a $10 billion program, 1,000 times less. So what it means, they are trying to get an application, get the normal person to think about space, to envision space in their lives. Will you use it for your next vacation? Will you buy a rock from the moon? So I think it's a very interesting point. And, the gentleman before me was mentioning aviation. When they started aviation, nobody would want to fly. If you asked a man from US or from China or from Turkey, would you take a flight to the US and be there in 10 hours? They would say, don't want to go. Why would we go? And this is so dangerous. You have to get on a plane, 35,000 feet. You can get killed. This might crash. But today, the aviation industry started by carrying mail. It was not a viable industry. Nobody thought it would be a viable industry. But today we know how dependent we are on aviation. And space travel, if it goes right in the next 20, 30 years, can become a full-fledged big tourism industry. Or, you might have some application in space, which we don't know about. So I think it's a very interesting crossroads that we're having this discussion.
Yeah, it is remarkable to think that we could be going up into space as tourists in our lifetime when only a few years ago it was something that I think a lot of people never even considered. Amitabha, as you rightly pointed out, astronauts have been going into space for a long time and spending much more time in space. And the crew today, as you said, just spent 3 minutes in space. Talk to us about what they likely experienced during their flight, because the whole journey was actually only about 11 minutes. But talk to us about what they went through from the takeoff to the zero gravity to the landing. What must that have been like for them?
So initially you go through a period of intense pressure, and then there is where you find like this, feel like almost there's an elephant in your chest. And then you go through weightlessness, and then when you transition to space for the first time, the sky appears black. And so you see a white sun in a black sky, which we never have seen. And then you see the curvature of the Earth, which is fascinating. We have never seen the curvature of the Earth. So, and then the weightlessness goes away, and then you start descending back in. And then this thing descended through the atmosphere. You pass the sonic barrier, and then there's the parachutes which guide you to safety.
Yeah, it's certainly one thing to talk about it, but I imagine it's a whole nother experience to actually go through it. And we did hear a lot of sounds of jubilation on board, so I imagine it was an amazing experience. We're going to leave it there for now. Amitabha Ghosh, thank you so much for your time.